I welcome to Flexily Applications. Training is about recruitment module, and in this session we will cover walkthrough of how requisitions or requirements are created in the system. So there are multiple ways through which requirement can be created in the system. So the first way of creating a requirement in the system is through the MSS section. So whenever a manager wants to raise a requirement in his department, or any employee wants to raise a request in the company on the behalf of the department, then they go to MSS, and in MSS there is an option of requisition request. So when you go to requisition request form, so you get a form wherein you need to fill the basic details regarding that requirement. So for example, the title. So title could be your software engineer. Then what is the number of openings? Is it a high priority, low priority? What business group this person, this requisition falls into? Then what would be the legal entity under this business group? Then work location, what is the job location for this particular profile? Again, the department, what would be the target date? If it is an addition or it is a replacement of the employee, then in case you have any comments. Then coming down to the form, you have job description, job template. So if you hire for a particular profile frequently, then you can have a set template. And then once you choose the template, all the other fields like designation, maybe the qualification, degree, specializations, these get auto-filled. Now, grade, if you want to choose, whether this person, this profile belongs to a particular grade, then you can choose that. Uh, Again, you can have the job description, which is auto-filled because of the job template, but in case you want to add on anything, you can add on. Then coming to the job search keywords, so if you want to put any kind of keywords here, then you can do that. Coming to the experience, what kind of experience is required for this profile, what kind of minimum experience, maximum experience required. And if the travel is required for this particular profile, you can check this checkbox. That means the travel is required. It will ask you for the frequency. So it says, let's say always, seldomly, negligible, not required. So you can choose that. If the relocation is required, and if you're hiring for a sales background person, then maybe a target that the person must have achieved in his previous job. So you can set a target here, and then you can click on save or submit. So once you click on save, you will be able to edit anything. You can populate the form again and you can edit anything. But once you click on submit, then the form will get disabled and you will not be able to make any change to it. Now when you go to process status, you can see where it is pending. So for example, if a manager or an HOD is raising a requirement in the system and they want somebody over them to approve it, just so that nobody initiates the requisitions just like that. So you can have somebody who is approving this request. So if I populate this software engineer entry and then I go to process status, approval process status, then I will be able to see where it is pending. So the approval process could be of multiple levels or could be of a single level according to the configuration, according to the policy. So that is one way of creating a requirement in the system. Once a requirement is created from here, it goes to a recruiter or a hiring admin to work upon it further. Now, the other way of creating a requisition is through recruitment. So under recruitment, there are basically two roles available, requisition and requisition admin. You want the recruiter to just see his own profiles he's working on. So you can give the access of requisition, and if you want everybody, all the recruiters to have the access of all the profiles, irrespective who is working on those profiles, then you can give the access of requisition admin. So the second way of creating the requisition is through create enterprise requisition. So when you click on create enterprise requisition, it is the same kind of form that we've seen in MSS. So the title, status is showing as approved because there is no approval process running, because the recruiter is creating this requisition or raising this request on the behalf of the manager or HOD. So in that case, it is auto approved. So the form would remain the same: title, number of openings, high priority, business group, legal entity, the same kind of form that we've seen in MSS, when you raise this requisition and you click on save and go to CSL steps, so now you can choose, as a recruiter, you can choose how many interview rounds you want for this particular profile. And once you activate them and save it, that means only these 2 rounds or only these 3 rounds will be applicable for this particular requisition. So that is another way of creating a requirement in the system. So whenever you work as a recruiter or you are raising a requisition on the behalf of any of the employee, then you become the hiring admin and you become the recruiter for that profile. Now you can go and change it. You have the access to change the recruiter and map somebody else who will be working on this profile. So the third way of creating a requisition is through create quick requisition. So once you go to that form, you will see that there are little details that you need to fill. Like there are not many details that were there on enterprise requisition form or MSS form. So there are like few details that you need to fill, and then you need to just check what all assignments, what all interview process you want, you selection process you want on this profile, and then you freeze it. So once you freeze it, the requisition will be freezed and the recruiter can start working on this profile. Now, whenever a requisition is freezed, so now that the requisition is created in the system, let's see how it is managed by the recruiters. So you go to manage requisition and it will give you another form. If you see that there is a requisition name, location, initiated on, openings, target date, all the data, recruiter working on who has raised this profile, then the what is the status, in progress, closed, hold, cancel, then what are the number of candidates that are aligned with this profile, approved date of this requisitions, hired candidates, if it is on high priority, and then manage requisition, freeze, unfreeze, posting, sharing, and then if it is posted, then what is their or what is the posting type. So let's see what the requisition name and this link means here. So whenever a requisition is created in the system, before we start working on it, we need to freeze the requisition. Like we need to seal the deal that this is the requisition, this is the data, these are the details. Now we'll work on it. When you freeze the requisition, nobody will be able to edit it. So let's say if this requisition is not free. Now coming to the manager HR, once you go to this link, you can see that form is enabled for you to make any change. So if you want to make, let's say, the change in the designation or the job type or the qualification or work location for that matter, you will be able to change it. And then you can save it. So the form is still enabled for recruiter or for the concerned party to make the changes. But once you freeze it, so that means you have sealed the deal that now we won't be making any changes to it. So when you come to again to manage HR link, you will see that the form is disabled. Now you will not be able to make any changes to it. So that is what the freeze and unfreeze logic is. So until unless the requisition is freezed, you will be able to make changes in that requisition. You will be able to make changes in the details. But if it is freezed, you won't be able to make any changes. The form will be disabled. Now posting and sharing. So if you want to post it as IJP or anywhere outside the application, then you can choose the manage posting. So once you click on it, you will get another form and you can choose where you want to post it, like maybe on the job portal or any kind of career section, or maybe a BGV, or maybe internal job posting. Once you click on this IJP and you click on post, your requisition will be posted to IJP block. So this is how requisition is maintained in the system. This is it for this session. We will see you in the next session, which is the recruitment part 2, in which we will cover how to create a candidate in the system and how to align a candidate with a requisition. So thanks for joining today. Thank you so much.